Okay, let's get started. And let me just get my screen up for you on this. Right, there we go. So I can just share that there. Well, let me know that you can see the screen, and then I'll just keep going. And just see. Hold on. Right. I need to kind of try and get to this chat. Yes, you can see the screen. Great, thank you. I'm trying to get the chat up here so I can see the chat conversation at the same time. So just bear with me for a moment. So it's in the middle of my screen, and I'm not too sure. Come on. There we go. That's got to be on there. Great. Seeing the screen fine. Thank you, Paul. All right. Wow, Paul, lovely to see you all the way from Singapore. Okay, so today I'm going to cover something that is really close to me because it's something that's kind of been created over the last 45 years, actually over 5 years now. It's actually 6 years. From Birmingham. Thank you, Paul. And it's something that's been so effective in rolling it out for so many different people and in so many different scenarios that it was time for me to start sharing this, at a much higher level and allowing other people to be able to start using it for themselves, which is awesome. I'm starting to get people actually going out and actually doing the training and actually running the programs and letting me know that they're doing it, and it's really great to see the success they're creating. So I want to cover it from a perspective of, I'll give you a whole bunch of different examples, different scenarios of how we've applied that. And whilst we're kind of talking about it, I'd love you to consider how you could see it working for your business. And I'd love to open up that conversation as well during this around how this could work for your business. Because everybody's got a different niche and a different way that you built your business and a different way that you go to market, and different products and different services. And it might be a challenge for you to kind of conceptualize how that could all work. But I assure you, there's only a handful of things that I really haven't been able to get my head around how I could make it work. However, most things so far, for the people who have come into our programs, we've been able to find a really nice way of tweaking this model to make it work for the business. So it's essentially this. How I've generated 46 figures through online competitions, and really what I'm going to be sharing, how you can create highly valuable partnerships and thousands of new leads in your business. And these are a couple of promises I want to make for you up front of what we're going to cover. So a quick one for the rest of you who haven't put that in there. I know that we've got some people from Perth on the call, some people from Melbourne, all the way from the UK. We've got people in capital raising. Martine, I know that you're in events. What else do we have? What are some of the businesses that we have on the call? And let me start talking to that, because if you give me some indication of what it is, then it's going to really make it easy for me to kind of speak into your business or your vertical market. So just pop that into the chat or into the Q&A, and then write in your biggest challenge. What is your biggest challenge in your business today? I'd love to kind of get a sense of that, because maybe this is an opportunity for you to utilize something that could address those major problems. So a little bit of background on me. I know that most of you actually do know who I am and a little bit about my background. 6 years ago, I moved over to Bali and joined a group of amazing people here running running and working with Roger Hamilton and running 30-day business incubators, iLab and stuff like that. And I've really loved facilitating that program over the time. And over the last few years, I've really gone down a bit of a spiritual path, living in the wood. You can't help but get drawn into all that. The love of my life, or the loves of my life, Roz and Allegra, who obviously have been on this journey all the way with me, and Allegra, who showed up to when we got to Bali, and in amazing ways, she was waiting for us to show up so that she could become our daughter. Has been an extraordinary part of just being here in Bali, and I get to spend plenty of time, having fun and enjoying the time with these amazing human beings who are making me certainly a better person as well. And love to connect in, and it's amazing that we've got Paul down on the call as well. Love B1D1 and all the work that Paul's been doing with that as well. Most of my time I actually spend here in these spaces of online coaching, online training, where I get to really connect with business owners all around the world and help them build powerful powerful businesses that really serve them and serve their clients in ways that they've always dreamt of. So that's been the culture of what Bali brought to my life. Rather than showing up live every time in training, we've now worked out how we can do that all online, and this medium is essentially it. I want to play a quick video from a friend of mine who is absolutely amazing, Adam Houlihan, and some work that we did, or some work that he did with us through our Campaign Mastery Academy program. And to kind of give you a sense of, even though today I'm going to talk about a specific strategy, really what everything that I do comes from the basis of principles of marketing and sales. And everything, if you're using that as your base, then whatever strategy you develop from that is always going to be a strategy that has longevity. So I'm going to close my computer because it's just better for the sound for you to be able to hear that as I play these.
Hi, my name's Adam Houlihan. I'm the general manager of a company here in Australia called My Essence. We manufacture a range of certified organic skincare and superfoods, and we export them pretty much all over the world. Recently, our marketing team completed the 8-week Campaign Mastery Academy program with Patrick and John. The brief that we gave the guys was to develop a program that would reinvigorate a dormant part of our database. Together with the guys, we came up with a 3-pronged approach to this. And just the first part of this, which was completely free, developed a return on that campaign of 400% above what we were expecting, at about 40 times the cost of the whole program itself. So to say that we're fans of the program is pretty much an understatement. The framework, though, that the guys developed not only held us in good stead for that campaign, but really is going to be the framework we will use for all future campaigns forevermore. So thanks, guys. It was awesome. And I highly recommend that if you want to develop a seriously good campaign for your business, get together with John and Patrick as soon as you can.
Absolutely love Adam. And also, what's developed in a relationship has been extraordinary just after working like that with Adam. And this week he actually releases his new book, which is called the LinkedIn Playbook. Keep an eye out for that, because I might have a free copy that you might be able to get hold of later this week. So Adam is an extraordinary work in that area of LinkedIn and generating leads as well. So I want to just kind of frame up where this specific strategy works really well. So and it works in a whole bunch of different areas, but these are like the primary three. When you're struggling to reach your target market, and it could be that you've just run an event and you've had 200 people show up, and 20 or 30 or 40 of them bought from you, and and then the rest of them didn't buy. So you're actually struggling to actually get your target market to actually purchase. And this mechanism, really what it does, it sets up a flood of highly qualified applications. And not people kind of going, hey, I'm interested in your program. These are applications. People put an application in to do your program. And they tell you why your program is going to make a massive difference to their life or to their business or to whatever it might be, whatever that program is. So now you're sitting in with an application versus a sales call where you're calling somebody up and saying, hey, buy my thing. This one here, you're talking to somebody saying, hey, you put your application in, let me just check and qualify you to see if this is right for you. And then you become the gatekeeper. It's a whole different energy and different way to actually talk to your market. The second part where it does really well are those people who are sitting on the fence, who kind of show up on webinars with you or show up at events or show up at your office or wherever it is that they show up, but they just don't buy them. They've been there for months and they maybe even been there for years. What this does, it actually motivates them to take make a decision to put an application in. So now we get these guys who have been watching your program, seeing what you're doing, actually wanting to do it, but just hadn't had the thing to help them get across the line to go, okay, now it's time for me to actually do this. So we get some hot prospects really waiting for your call with you. And then the last one, which it really does well with, which is it takes this whole process of a hard sell, lengthy sales process and turns it into more of a, I wouldn't even say converting sales fast, I'd actually probably say more like an order-taking style process, but it's also compressed because we usually run these within a week or 2 weeks, and I've run it within 48 hours. So you can really compress your sales right down. And I'll give you the example of what I did in 48 hours. So those three areas there, you may not even know that these are challenges in your business, but sometimes when you kind of look at your business, you go, oh, actually, I can see how I'm doing that. I'm making a lengthy, hard sell process because I'm, have to follow up with all these conversations, and I'm going to do a proposal, and none of that. We don't do any of those. This process, it gets them putting an application in, and you basically qualifying to see if they're ready for it, and then inviting them in if they are. Does that make sense? Kinda? All right. Good. Thank you. So what I want to kind of give you a sense of where I was when this kind of came up. I was in the events industry, and I was running different events, over in Australia, fast food business events. And what I found with these events, and that just to actually get people in the events and the management of it, all the printing, the time, the months of preparation, the feedback forms, getting your team on board to do the audio and the video, and then managing all the people who are coming through and registering for that, and then managing your team after. These are all photos of things that were all part of my life. And then getting on stage and hoping that you do a great job so that then people buy your products at the end. Now, there's a place for this, but at that time in my life, I looked at that and went, oh my goodness, this process is just too big for me. It just seems too much energy, too much work for me to kind of get a result that I actually can't even take to the bank, because I can't tell the bank that I'm going to make definitely 5%, 10%, 20% sales, because on the day, my speaker may say something wrong. I may say something wrong. My team may not be set up and ready. Whatever it might be, people may not show up at the event. I just had a friend of mine who Paul knows run an event, and I think 95 people registered and 9 people showed up. Like, imagine how much effort has gone into just getting those 95 people to register, and then 9 people show up. So you just don't know when you're taking all this effort, and there's huge financial risk. So I kind of decided, well, that is potentially a way to do it, but maybe I'm not going to keep myself playing in this industry, and I'm actually going to leave it in a big way and find other ways to reach out, find people, enroll the people who are my tribe, and then have them become clients, and have me serving them at a really high level that really serves them in their growth or personal growth or business growth or whatever it might be. So I decided that this was it. That's the point. I'm done. Went off to Bali, and when I got to Bali, we got an opportunity to kind of put together this program called Green Super Camp, and it was basically a leadership program for kids that that incorporated a product called Super Camp from the US, which is a well-renowned program, and the Green School, and we kind of put them together and came up with this idea of running this Green Super Camp, and then went out to market it to our audience, and we had no idea if our audience would even respond because we'd never done anything like this. And after about 3 months worth of marketing for this, I kind of got to a stage where we had a bunch of people in there, but we were still short of even just breaking even. And we needed another 5 more people to get across the line to make that happen. And we'd done all the different things that you'd expect someone would do, and all of the early bird specials and all those types of things. And we got down to 2.5, almost 3 weeks out from the camp, and was July in Bali. So flights to Bali were getting expensive because it's time that Australia go on holiday, and we needed those 5 people, and I wasn't getting any response from my database or from the databases that other people were marking out to. So we ran a competition. We came up with this idea: let's create a competition where we give one of these places away. Let's get somebody's child, somebody's teenager to the camp. We'll give one of those for free, and then what we'll do as a second prize, we'll give in this case, we gave a 50% scholarship. So it's a $3,000 program, and we gave $1,500 off from that. I ran the promotion, and basically this is what we got. We got 12 entries and 5 sales from 7 calls, which created $7,500 in 48 hours. So that was the end result of that. And of course, the entries that I got through, I was absolutely blown away. I was going, oh my goodness, I can't believe people are sharing such intimate details about themselves, about their life, about their children's lives, about what they're challenged with, and putting that out and saying, this program is going to make such a huge difference in my child's life because of this and this and this. And I've got to say, when I read through the applications, I was blown away. The first one actually had me floored. I was in tears. I was sobbing. It was like, oh my goodness, this is an extraordinary story. And all 12 of them were at a very similar level. But yeah, I got on the phones, phoned up the lady who won, which happened to be the first person, and then made the next 7 calls, and 5 people gave me their credit card and said, we're coming, we're in, let's go. And I closed up the competition, and that was the very first version of this that worked. And could it have worked better? Absolutely. Could we have made more spaces available? Could we have continued calling all 12 entries and made more sales? Absolutely, I could have done all of that. But that was my target, and that's what I went for, and that's what showed up. So thanks, Paul. Paul is heading off. Thank you so much. Thanks for your feedback. So once I'd done that, I thought, well, that worked okay with a $1,500 product. What could we potentially do on a product that was maybe a little bit more expensive? So I then looked at the 30-day business incubator that we just started running, and the only way that we were doing that or selling that program was through live events. And you just saw what it takes to run a live event. And we'd run the first live event, and we'd had 30 odd people purchase. We had 1,000 odd people come to that event, and 30 odd people bought this specific program. There were other programs and things on offer, and so we had 32. So we had the first couple of 2 or 3 programs, at a level of break even, and a little bit better. And then we're going like, how do we continue this momentum without having it to be Roger being on stage every single time. And you know, we just said, well, let's see if we can implement the strategy again. Let's see if that's going to work. So we went out, we did the same thing. Yeah, we gave one of those 30-day business incubators. And you can include your 30-day business mentoring and lifestyle program. I'll have accommodation and breakfast at Vision Villas in Bali. So that was the first prize, and it was pretty extraordinary. I was blown away that that we got the response that we got, and then again we read all those applications, and again people were just putting their heart on the table. They're just going, "This is going to shift my life. It's going to change my business. I'm going to be able to do the things I really truly want to do with my business. I'd love to run this." So read through those, found the first person, gave that away, and then the second prize was, as you can see, $2,300 cash award towards their ILAB program. So that took them down from $7,200 to $4,900. So a big jump for them to be able to, you know, travel costs, spending money, all those something, you know, they could use it anywhere. They weren't paying the full amount. So we ran that, and we had 84 people register for this one, which is, you know, we ran over a week, or maybe, yeah, I think it was a week actually. Ran this one over a week. 84 people registered, and then we got to the second people. We shortlisted them, and we got into some conversations with them, and it was exactly the same experience. It couldn't be more natural, more similar to the one we'd had before. And out of those 84 leads, we had 22 sales and $107,000 in revenue towards us. Now, consider that, okay, the event that we'd run prior to that with 1,000 people, we had a number of different programs we were selling. So this isn't really a great comparison. But for this program, we had 30-odd sales from that, and we had 22 sales from this, and we didn't have any accommodation fees, flights, event fees, or anything else that we needed to do. We could just run this on its own without the risk of putting up all that investment and get this kind of return. So I thought, well, okay, we've done it in the industry of kids education and leadership. We've done it in business and mentorship. What could we do something in a whole different vertical? So I went off to my friend Tyler after he had just finished running an event in Australia. I said to him, "Hey, how did you go?" And he was sharing with me that they'd done really great, and about 20% of people had bought, and you know, really happy with it. So I said to him, "Why wouldn't we just extend this experience that they've just had with you? Extend the experience from the perspective that there's 800 people there who didn't buy from you, and there's a reason for it. Maybe it was at that time they couldn't make a decision because of, you know, other people who had needed to make that decision with them, or maybe they needed more information, or maybe, you know, they were dealing with financial issues at that moment, or they needed, you know, payment plan, or whatever it might be. Or maybe they just needed something else to motivate them to actually make a decision." So we created this thing called Feel the Love from the Health Vibe Tour. So this is like an extending the love from the tour, and for two reasons. One, Tyler really wanted to understand who was in the room and why they'd come, what were they dealing with. So let's get that information in. And number two, if they actually were there and they wanted to make a decision to actually join the program, then let's put them in an environment where somebody can have a conversation with them and they can come on board. So that's where the competition rolled out over here. And again, we gave away one of his programs, his self-care adventure, with, you know, $6,000 at that stage. And then as a second prize, we gave, I think, $1,000 off that for, you know, people who did that. And then basically we ran that campaign, and 285 people registered for that campaign out of the 800 who had not bought anything. So, you know, a good chunk of those people. And then a month later, we ran just to a segment of his database, 4,000 people, who had been interactive with him over the previous 6 to 12 months, however, hadn't purchased any of these top-end programs. So we found about 4,000 of those people, and we did a marketing campaign exactly the same, almost identical to this one here, and basically continued those conversations. So we ran that one to 4,000. That one generated 505 applications to the 4,000 people. And yeah, you can see some stats over here of people who are accepting the awards, and some of them who are passing it on, some of them saying, hey, please call me, I need more information. And others who were put on a waiting list because we couldn't actually accept all of the people to this. And between the two of these put together, this is what we did. We did 86 sales and over $270,000 in revenue. And over 100,000 of that was off the back of the event that he had done, which for him was adding another 43% to his revenue from that event. So even if he had failed terribly on the event, this mechanism here kind of would have saved him. He did great on the event, plus he had an addition to this. And again, he didn't have to jump on any flights, he didn't have to do anything that he had to do for the event that he was running to have this occur for him and have this work for him. So I just wanted to stop for a moment and just kind of consider the businesses that we have here. And I'm going to just see cyber security consultant Andrew. I'm just going to escape this for a moment, just so I can have a little look at the conversations that are going on. So, biggest challenge: getting marketing material in the right people's eyeballs. Fabulous. That's I totally get that. It's really finding your niche. Thanks Jill. Who else do we have? Capital raising, cybersecurity consulting. All right. I might need a few more questions on those ones there. But just for now, because you've kind of seen a number of different options, a number of different examples, just consider that you could run a competition for a product offering that you have right now, and just think about what could you do? What could be the program or the product that you put forward, what would you want to give away? I guess as a second prize, if you were to do that. I have a high engagement with my list but low sales. Yikes! Hopefully might be. So let's just get some ideas. Let's throw some ideas either in the Q&A or in the chat here. Just tell me about what kind of products or programs or services or online education programs that you currently have, and let's get a conversation. Let me see if we can work out how this fits. Or if you're not too sure how this fits, then put your hand up and say, hey, John, I'm in this area here. I'm not too sure what that is. Taking your digital assets from cyber threats. Gotcha. Okay. And who are your clients, Andrew? What would a typical client look like? SME. Okay. So give me an example of an SME. So would they be an IT style company? Would they just be somebody who's like protecting your digital assets from cyber threats? That kind of sounds like it's something that is like a firewall or something that you put on anyone online. Okay. So anything that could potentially come in and actually steal your digital assets. Gotcha. So what would you call that industry? Is that a it's obviously not the software that you run that looks after your business. Very broad security, but okay. And what would be an example of your service package? Would it be that we come in and we put the system into your business and we protect it that way? People training. Okay. Got it. Okay, so let's give some examples of people training, and I'll go a bit broader because we've got a number of different people on here. So I'll go back into play mode here. Thank you for sharing, Andrew. Anyone else wants to share, you're welcome to do that as well. Let's have a look at some examples of different ones that we've done. And you can see there's all sorts of different ones here. We've run 17 in the last 2.5 years, and currently we've got another 2 in the middle of rolling out. And they both actually have, they're actually both in the sales section of their competition. So 19 in the last 2.5 years. Here's a bunch of them. So if we have a look on the top here, this is more of an opt-in funnel. I'll talk to you more about that later. The one on the right, you've already seen the health one. This is the business incubator that you've seen. This is an online business training program that Chris Duncan does, that we've run some competitions for him. So basically people pay, I don't know, it's like $8,000 or $10,000 for the Freedom Fast Track program. It's a 12-month program, and he trains them and coaches them. So he's got some online training, some video digital assets, and he's got a regular coaching call that he does, I think, once a week. So people sign up for that, and basically we ran a competition to sell to give one of those away, and then we made 26 sales off the back of that, the second prize ones. Here's a lady who does an online writing course. Her name's Pam, and basically that's all video-based training and for people training on how to actually write the book and then become a bestseller. These guys here do podcasts, so again, online training for that. This one here is very much an adventure and an experience away in. That one was in Egypt. This one here you've seen, which is the education with that. This one here is a healing retreat in Bali. This one here is definitely people training. This is the Money and You program that many of you will have heard of. Has been around forever. So that's like a 3-day people training event, and that's that goes in at like $3,900, $4,000 price range. This is also a funnel one, and this one here is entrepreneur training that's happening in later this year. So that kind of gives you a sense of, there's lots of different people in here, and I've got currently running a guy who's here in Bali running yoga training. So people very specifically around wanting to become yoga instructors or just take their yoga to another level. He's just run a competition, had something like 900 people apply for it. So he's got a ton of great inquiries or great applications for the program, and kind of going through the process of enrolling the people into his program. And this one here, we're talking about a $8,000 program. So really top end, and people understand what the price of that is. So hopefully that kind of gives you a sense. If your area hasn't been covered in this, then do let me know. I'd love to assist in coming up with a plan. We just did one. We've just done a brainstorming with a company in property, and basically what we've done is been able to set up a property grant or property grant fund for people who are looking to buy their first investment properties, and they're not a government department. These guys are a business, but by just applying the words grant to the way that they do things, it means that now they are seen in the market as somebody who is an authority and who can then supply that. So suddenly, with that strategy, they'll get a whole bunch of people coming to them because they've set that standard where we supply grants to people who want to go out and get their first investment property, and this is a service that comes with that, and it's a buyer's agency service and all that type of thing. So on the road phone prototype, all good. Thanks, Andrew. we're happy to also catch up after this and just go through some thoughts with you. All right, so it looks like we're covering off most of that. Now, just to give you an idea, I charge north of $4,500 Australian to run this service, and anything where between 30 and 70% in commission for the sales side. So that's when I take on all the responsibility and do the whole thing for companies. And I almost don't make this available anymore to anyone else other than people that I go and approach. And unfortunately, that doesn't make any sense for me to be able to leverage the knowledge here. So really, what I wanted to do was start to actually share that with different people and share it with businesses so they could actually get on and actually learn about it. So let me just quickly go through the different competition models so you're going to get a sense of where this fits in, because there's two aspects to it. One is definitely if you're a new business, you don't have leads yet. So that's the question that I think Jill was asking, which was I would love to get my message in front of the eyeballs of my people. If you haven't got a smart funnel of how to get people into your business, then I'm going to talk to you about that. And on the other side, then be able to then take them on a journey and convert them into middle and high paying clients is then where the profit model comes. So this is the profit model. It's great for new product launches, relaunches, event follow-ups. It works great on the event follow-ups. It works great after summits. It works great after live events. Anything where you've got a whole bunch of people showing up and having a relatively lengthy experience with you. Be it an hour or 2 hours or 5 hours or whatever it might be. We've got the positioning models of competitions. Now, these are the ones that you see every other day, which, when you're walking through the shopping center, you'll see them, win this car. And that's generally for charities and media and demonstration purposes. And essentially what they're doing is they're grabbing as many, first of all, they're making money to pay for all of the things that they're giving away, but also they've been giving that away to charities and stuff like that. And they're also looking to populate a database to talk to the people. And then we've got the pre-launch model, which is basically for when you're going out and actually looking for new members and partnerships and stuff like that. And I'll talk to you a bit about this one here, because I've got an offer where you can get to learn and implement and integrate both models for your business. One, to bring in your target market to a funnel, and enroll partners to do that with you, and secondly, then to convert them into sales. Okay, what could this strategy do for your business? So we've kind of spoken a little bit about that. Very happy to continue this conversation. If you're going to go, hey John, I'd love to know more on how this could work for me, then let's keep that conversation open. But I just want to say that as part of this presentation, I just wanted to share that content with you to say these are the opportunities, these are the kinds of things that I'm doing with this, and I'm going to show you in the next section if this is something you're going to go, yes, this sounds like something that I could use. Then I'm going to talk to you a bit about how we're using it in different ways and how we failed as well. So if you're interested in to see our worst case scenario, I'm going to share a couple of those with you as well. So if you're kind of sitting there going, yeah, not too sure how this can work for me, John, it sounded good, it's maybe something for somebody else's business, then great, I want to honor your time and say thank you so much. And for those of you who are going, this sounds interesting, I want to know more, then let me continue with you, and let me show you how we can actually work together on this. So thank you for those who are going to be leaving us right now, and for those of you who are staying, thank you for sticking in, and we're going to keep on going, see how it can work for you and how we can work together. All right, so let me talk to you about what we've got together here. We've put together a whole education program to support really you rolling out one of these for yourself or rolling it out for someone else. Most of these competitions I've done, I've run them for other people. I've run them for my clients and a whole bunch of other people. So maybe you're a consultant, maybe this is a great opportunity for you to learn this and actually, then take that out to your own people and service them as well. Or, of course, run up your own business. So what I've done is I've put together a package here, and we've been recording and really getting this funnel process really dialed in over the last almost 6 years now. It's it's been going for a while, and of course when you in the midst of running these things, so many different things show up. So you learn so much in your failures. So what I've done is I've put together a whole product which includes an entire product model formula which I've worked out, which is all the different aspects that you'd have to consider. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, my team. Great, thank you. So every aspect of how to put together a competition in a formula so that you can actually work out right up front, and I can sit there and actually show you if you have specific types of people that you want to go market to, what that could actually look like when you roll a profit model over that. So really quite a detailed profit formula to allow you to kind of get a real good sense of what your possible turnover will be, number of clients, and your worst case scenario. So if you're still making money in your worst case scenario, would you do it? Absolutely yes. And would you do it over and over again? Absolutely you would. So that's what the actual profit model formula does. It gives you that confidence that you can run the competition and actually make a profit even if everything fails. We've got all of the website funnel templates. So all of those images that you saw there, we've got every one of those templates that we've recorded and we've tweaked and we've got better and better at, and we've moved that into a template for you so that literally you can download it with one click and you get every single step of the way through the template that you can basically change your images, change some of the text to make it your own language and your own product, but you've got the whole formula and the flow of that helps you just do that. And of course, we can help you all the way through that as well and give you feedback as you're coming through the program with us. And then what I've done is all of my promotional emails that I've written over the last 5-6 years for these, I've found the best ones for you to be able to use, and you can literally take each one of them separately, have a look at them, copy them, change them again. I'm trying to make this so simple for you that you can just roll it out without having to know much about marketing, know much about how to set up a structure for a landing page. I don't want you to learn. I don't want you to have to go out and have to learn much at all. Just follow the process, and we will get a return. We'll get a real positive result because we'll follow it exactly how we know it works. And then high converting template sales scripts. So for those of you who are going to jump on the calls, or if you want to get a sales team involved to actually do that, we've got the sales scripts for them. And again, there's certain kind of conversation that happens in all of these competitions. And again, you just basically change out the words around your product and what the end result is for your client, and you've got a really solid script that you can use. To be honest, I don't even have most people who even use the scripts. They read the scripts to kind of get a sense of it, and they kind of learn it. They go, okay, that's the flow of it. They have a few goes at it, but then it's just natural. You get in the conversation, and it's a natural conversation because, again, you're not trying to close anybody. You're not trying to sell anyone. You're the gatekeeper reading the application and qualifying if this is something right for him. It's 12-month live bi-monthly mentoring sessions. Now, the reason why I've done it over 12 months is that even though the videos that I've got take you 8 weeks or 8 days if you want to watch them through, or probably 8 hours, probably you could do it in less than that. You could watch all the videos. But I can show you how to roll this out within 8 weeks. Again, you saw how I rolled out the really basic version of it in 48 hours. So I've got those there for 8 weeks. But I know that we've got some savvy business people on this call. I do recognize a number of you there. So I know that you've already got campaigns, you've got other things already planned over the next 2 or 3 quarters. So my sense was that I would give you 12 months to be in the mentoring conversation, so that number one, you could be bouncing that off me even if you're rolling it out in Q4 next year, from now, or if you're rolling it out multiple times, and you might be rolling out multiple versions of it. So I wanted to make sure that I can support you. Also, I know that many people come and do programs and never get anything done. So I've done this to make sure that I've got time to see who's not actually doing doing the work, and I can hold you accountable and help you actually get the outcome that you truly want. Now that is a commitment to really help see a much higher percentage of people actually rolling out their competitions and actually making that happen. I've got a persuasive video training that basically is all around how to get on and invite people into the competition, and then how you would then go out and make the announcement of the winners and stuff like that. You don't have to run videos. I've done many competitions without any videos at all. The page itself can easily sell itself without any videos. However, if you want to add the video aspect to it, I think it definitely adds more value. So if you would like to learn how to do that, that's in there as well. And then I've got this profitable partner training inside there as well. How do you approach and enroll partners to work with you and to market for you? This part here, I love. It's one of my favorite parts, and it's hugely valuable because you can use this anywhere in your business. And then all the tools, we go through every single tool that you need to run a profitable competition, no matter what level of business you're at. And most of the tools are basically free. So a lot of the stuff, you don't have to go out and actually have a whole bunch of expensive CRMs and ClickFunnels and all these different types of things. You can actually do it really quite simply just with WordPress and with MailChimp or Aweber or something like that. So whatever level you're at, I'll give you the guidance and the tools on what to use so that you can roll it out at very, very low cost. And again, this is about minimizing your risk on everything that you do. So that's the value of that altogether, 10,800, and that's US dollars. That's actually what I sell it at as a done-for-you program. I just want to quickly play a video for you. This is off the back of Tyler after running the first 2 campaigns with him, and his experience with this model.
Hey guys, this is Tyler Tolman here, and I just wanted to take a minute to take my hat off, not that I'm wearing one, for my good friends, John Abbott and his team. I just want to give you a little bit of information behind these guys. Fantastic team to work with, by the way. I run programs here in Bali, big juice fast, 7-day programs, 30-day programs. I have online products, a bunch of different things that I offer to the world. And, John Abbott's been a good friend of mine for a very long time. He approached me and just said, hey, why don't we work together on some campaigns, essentially for creating some sales type of stuff to get out to your database and your network. And so he came in, literally him and his team came in and sat down with me and my team and just brainstormed. And these guys are absolutely brilliant. Like, just the input that they put in with our own business. We actually named one of our programs during the time we had with them, looking at pricing and structures and all these different things. It was really invaluable to sit down and have conversations with these guys who are obviously highly versed in the business that they do. Very, very knowledgeable and fun to work with. Really, really amazing guys, big open hearts. I really felt great working with them because the feedback I got from my customers made me feel like not only was I, going out marketing and creating new sales for my business, but I was actually, my customers were connecting on a really powerful level and sending me even emails like, thank you so much for running this competition. So it was like fantastic. Not only are people loving this and having a connection, but they were also buying into programs. And, we've sold, I'm not even sure, probably around $200,000 worth of sales and a couple of little campaigns that we did. Yeah, working with these guys has been fantastic. I highly recommend working with these guys. We're definitely going to be producing other competitions and things in the future, working together. Definitely a good team to work with. It's just been easy flowing and a lot of fun. So if you get an opportunity to work with these guys, if you have an existing business where maybe you need some marketing and some sales stuff going on, these guys are definitely the way to go. So thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tyler. And what I wanted to do was, I don't want to just leave it with these great testimonials of people that we worked with, because basically I wanted to share with you what happened when we worked with clients that everything went wrong. And I'm not going to name the clients because I think I'll leave that to them. But essentially, we've had probably 4 different occasions, 1, 2, 3, 4 different occasions that we work with clients where we've had a total failure. And total failure being we had a target, let's say, of 10 sales. We had a program that we were selling, which was $10,000. We wanted 10 sales, wanted a minimum of 5 to really have as a base target. And we ended up with 2 and $20,000 in there. And it was a failure. That was, we went out to the database, to their database. We got 60 people in. It was really extraordinary, and the people wanted to come and do his program. And the sales guys just could not get them across the line. It was very tight notice. In fact, many of the ones that we failed on is because we gave them too short a notice to be able to even pay, get on a payment plan on something like 10 grand. Now we were able to look at that, and he had priced his program really well, so that even though we had put that the $20,000 through those two people, he was still profitable with those 2 people. So that was like, for us, it was really it was a program where we just like, what happened there? And that's probably the least amount of sales we've ever made on any program. And we realized that at $10,000, you want to be able to warm up your audience. You want a really hot audience, and you want to give them plenty of time and notice for them to actually do your program. So we had some great lessons from that. And had we done that, there was at least a dozen people who said, if this was next year, no problem, give me 6 months to pay that off, and we could do that. And we know that those sales would have happened. So great lessons, and great lesson for our client as well. Another client of ours, also similar price point. In fact, not similar, exact same price, about $10,000. And they essentially what they were selling was an advertising style package. And I guess what we realized was that we went out and we spoke to their audience, and again, their audience seemed to know what they were doing. But when we put the package in front of them, the package wasn't suited for them. It actually wasn't a mix that they were looking for. So we ended up spending about a week on different calls. Going into the second week, we made, I think, 4 sales of that one there. But again, they were looking at how do we make 20, 30 of these. And we had lots of people in that funnel. We had, I think, 300 people who came through the funnel, which is great. It's great as well, because on those funnels that we had are now people that you have their information, their details of, why they want to do the different programs, and they put that forward to you. So you now have a secondary phase and a third phase that you can now follow up with those people. And of course, in both cases of those, we realized that very quickly we weren't going to be able to get anywhere close to the campaign target. So we, in some cases, we aborted it. We went, well, let's not actually push this one any harder than we have. Let's close it off, and let's then look at a secondary strategy, which we did with both of those by the way, which was a follow-up webinar in both cases, and we made more sales as a result of that, because we could then do something totally different and offer them something different as well that was more suitable. So, and again, 4 sales, $40,000 wasn't anything close to what they want to do, and although that was the case, it was still profitable for them to go through that. So I just want to share that as well, because there are going to be cases that we don't know yet where we're going to be failing. But what I do know is that sales always come through, and especially if you're at a price point of anywhere between $2,500 and $5,000, which seems to be a really nice entry point for this, or even lower if you've got lower price points. We've sold as low as $457 for a program or product on our competitions, and as high as $25,000. And of course, in the $25,000 one, it was an upsell from what we were offering because the person actually wanted the other program. So we didn't actually go out to sell that specifically. But that kind of gives you a sense of the range. We average $3,600 on average across all of our competitions. That's the price point that we average on our sales. So if you had something around about that sort of price point, be it US or Australian, then you're probably in the ballpark to be able to actually run something like that. So let me quickly talk to you about some of the bonuses. So bonus number one, which is what I was speaking about earlier, which is basically the third level of competitions. This is the competition gift model that I want to throw in for you, which is all about building a funnel. And last year I ran one of these. It's called The Greatest Competition. I'm running another one in December this year. It's an annual program that I run. And basically what you do is you go out and you invite a number of partners in to market with you and give away a whole bunch of gifts. So it's, I call it the greatest competition giveaway that we run. And we run it for very specific target markets because at the end of the day, we're looking for our avatar. So I'll go out and I'll find partners who are looking for the same avatar, and we all give different gifts away from our business. And essentially the gifts that we're giving away are funnel gifts, so that people can then come through the funnel and have an experience, get something for free, and then get into the funnel and actually start seeing where the value is for them. Now, that's called the competition gift model. And that one there, I find that most newbies in business, or people who just haven't worked out how to build funnels, this is a great place to start. And I'm giving you all of that training in there as well, plus all the funnels and all the downloadable parts, so that you can immediately have your own funnel. And we support you all the way through the same process over those 12 months. So you can roll this out and then run a profit model later in the year, and then get the big upsell. That said, from my last one that I ran, we created $20,000 or a minimum of $20,000 in revenue just from the people who came through that funnel, who ended up buying different programs and different coaching from me and that type of thing. So just through a normal, natural marketing process, you'd be able to convert these people coming through, because again, they're your target market. You can convert them into the programs that you're doing. That's called the competition gift model. That's the value of that. I also want to give away two things, which I only do on this program. This is the first time I've ever done this, and I'm only doing it on this online competition programs that I'm running. And number one part of that is I want to reward the top graduates. What I want to say is that if you're someone who's going to take this on and actually do what it takes to make this run and work in your business, then I will put my hand up and say, I'm going to support you, and I'll do a promotion to at least 10,000 people on mine or a partner's database I can find for you. If my database is not your target market, I'll see if I can find someone for you. And that's really a bit of my ulterior motive, which is find amazing people to work with and to promote. And you'll see over here, Results Platform Foundation, and I'll just quickly turn this down over here, and you can see what it says. It says promote positive change, because that's what I'm looking for. You'll see the image of my daughter put on the wall as well. So promote positive change. I'm looking for positive change makers to promote. I love to let my audience and other audiences know of extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. So if you're somebody who wants to play this game at that level, then I'm calling you top graduate, because you're going to be the ones who actually do it and actually do it well and show up and make it happen. Number three, I'm going to do the top graduates as well. I want to personally introduce you to my close partner network. Now I've got over 160 partners on my database, and we've pulled those together over the last almost decade. And just last year, my partner income, or the income that we generated from partner leads, was over $500,000, over $500,000 in revenue that we couldn't generate from our own database. That just came in from these other people marketing for us and inviting their networks in, and us being able to convert those into clients. So I don't even put a value on these things, because you can't put a value on it, because I don't know what that could do for you, and what that could be as a financial outcome for your business. One partner could do everything. So I want to say that if you're up for this game and you're ready to actually do this, and you know what, you're going to play flat out and full out, then I'm going to support you and introduce you to what my networks. So this is what you get: competition profit model, formula, the website funnels, the template, promotional and follow-up emails, high converting template sales scripts, 12 months of that coaching, and I'm there every 2 weeks listening in, and I'm also following up on our closed group. I'm going to show you the sales training, the profitable partner training. You also get, I don't even have this in sales. I've actually got a whole sales, how to actually make sales program that we've got in there as well, which I haven't even put on here, which is put together by my good friend Patrick Woodcraft, on how to actually create transformational sales. So that's in there as well, which I haven't put in there. And then everybody who joins, I'm going to give you that competition profit model, as well as the gift model that brings in all of your new clients. And then if you're going to play it at the highest level, then I'm going to promote you to my database or to a partner's database who's your target market, as well as opening up my partner networks to invite you into conversations that could really transform your business through other people coming in and marketing with you, or actually representing your brand. So that's total value of, I can't even actually see that because it's behind all the things. I think it's $50,000 I get. So that's the value of that. The full investment. I'm just gonna close up my screen so I can actually see what I'm doing, because I've got your chat windows in there. Full program investment, including all the bonuses for the global launch, which I'm about to do, is coming out at $1,997, and I'm about to start that marketing in the next month. So that's what we're going to be launching this at, and there's the payment plan for that. But again, I want to do something pretty special for everybody who's here, because you're on my database and you've come through and you've been listening to me for the years. So I want to give you something special. Before I do that, I want to just share some of the people who have been running the competition. This is my really good friend Henare O'Brien, who lives here in Bardia with us, and he just ran it off the back of a summit, and he put 70 sales through. Originally, he had a few drop off, ended up at 60 odd, but 120 people he spoke to, 60 odd people who bought, so 58% conversion rate that he ended up with, and $200,000 in 2 weeks for his, I think it was like $3,000 program. So he was very, very excited in 2 weeks generating that kind of income for his business. Would that be something that you'd love to have on your business? Be able to sell out a program like that 5-day program that he's running in Bali in 2 weeks. I don't know any other process that could do that in the time frame that we rolled the whole thing out, which was within a month, start to finish, with him. So that an extraordinary outcome, and totally, again, this guy's a top performer. He does exactly what I give him guidance on. He just goes and he does it, no questions asked. I also want to give you a guarantee and take any of that question out of the way as well, and just say that if for any reason during the initial month that you're with us, you don't feel like this is for you, or you can't work out how this is going to work for you, I'm just going to simply refund your entire investment, no question asked. I will, however, get on a conversation with you to see if I can see something that you can't see, and if we can still see it, then let's keep going. But for any other reasons, I'm very happy. There's no need for me to have anybody who isn't motivated to make something happen in their life in here. And I'm looking for people who are motivated, who are clear that this is something that's a winning formula for them. My good friend Christopher Duncan ran this strategy. Well, I ran it for him about a year ago, and he ran it again this year. And this is what he says. And even though he says, please do not go and learn it, I want to keep it to myself. It's an absolute lie. He loves the strategy. He tells everybody about it. These are the people who do his online, how to build an online business, online freedom business, his Freedom Fast Track. He shows all of them exactly the process that he followed to build his brand and his business. And this is right there in there with the launch formula that he uses as one of the major parts that actually convert into sales. So I want to do this. I want to show you what I have on offer today. For you, it's the 12 months membership, full access to all of the content. And I want to take $500 off the $19.97. So, at $14.97, you can join the program and get going and have me supporting you all the way through and building you a funnel that in many cases costs you nothing to do, by the way, because what I do is I actually charge the partners to be in the program with me. So I end up making a profit for that, and I've shown other people how to do that as well. So how do you actually have your entire funnel of people coming in, and then how to convert them to a profit model competition to then be enrolled in working with you at a much higher level. If finances are a little bit of a stretch, I've got some installments you can do at $397 a month over 4 months. Happy to do that as well. There's the link over there. I'll pop that into the chat window so you have that. Where is the chat window? Here it is. So that's the link over there for you. Let's get you started. Let's get you up and running. If you have any questions or anything else, then I'll reach out to you and I'll give you an opportunity to connect in with me and have a conversation. Happy to kind of go through anything that, as long as you're keen to go, yes, John, I think this is something that I really want to do. We have some questions. Just reach out to me or I'll reach out to you. Just want to share with you Roger Hamilton, somebody I've worked with for almost a decade. He's been running the profit model strategy in his business, and he's run the gift model a couple of times or a few times as well. But he runs multiple of these across his business every single year, and I don't know what the actual revenue is on against his full revenue, but I would suggest it's nothing less than 25 to 30% that he's generating through this strategy. So a really powerful strategy for you to have a look at. In fact, I probably need to chat to him about that and find out exactly what that is. So that's what it is. I'd love you to join us. I'd love you to be in those calls with me. I'd love to serve you best and have you in conversation. Our calls that we have on this environment, our calls are all video calls. So we have everybody on a video and all interactive. And I really do work in that environment, in the group environment, in a one-on-one basis as well, to really help you get the best outcome for your competition that you decide to run. I know that this may be scary for some of you, and it might be a big step up, and it might feel like a big step up. That's it, man. This is the game. And if you're up for playing this game, I'm up for being there and holding your hand. At this kind of investment, if you can't see how you could make $1,400 back, or at least 10 times that back, then you shouldn't be starting or even considering this, because if you think you can't, then you can't. whatever you think you can't, whatever you think about is true for you. So if you think you can't do this, then you can't do it. And if you think you can, then you can. So I only want to work with those people who believe that they can do this, and they'll put their trust in me and trust in my team in being able to really hold your hand and make this happen for you, and then believe in themselves as you know, to show up, because that's really all I want, all I need from you. I need you to show up and do what you said you're going to do, and follow the process, because the process works. And the only thing that doesn't work in some cases is you know, when we get it wrong, and we get it wrong all the time, just so you know. But you know, if you know that your safety net is that you're still going to make a profit even when you get it all wrong, then you know that should give you the confidence to say, you know what, I can do this. I'm going to do it. I want to build my funnel. I want to get in front of the eyeballs of the people who want to see my specific message, and then I want to be able to have a process that then converts them in a beautiful, easy way that doesn't feel like it's a sales-driven process. You know, in a process that really is an application process, so that you can have fabulous conversations with people who truly want to learn about what you have to offer, or doing your program, or you know, using your product, or whatever it is that you have. So that's pretty much it for me. I'll take any questions. Yeah, I'll happily chat later. Thanks, Andrew. Right. So let me open up. If there's any questions right now, you're welcome to put them in here right now. Link's not working. Oh dear. Let me just check. Thanks, Paul. Let me just double check that. I hope it is working. I checked it yesterday. Yep. If you can't find that, or if that didn't work for you, here's that link directly. Paul, I just copied and pasted that in there. So there it is. There, it's a ClickFunnels page that I've set up for this, and my video is about to stop. But no, it's not good. So you can use that link as well. But the Bitly one should work. So that's what got me to that page. So hopefully one of those works for you. And reach out to me if you want to connect and you want to ask me some questions. There's some things. Oh, thanks, Andrew. I got your email. Perfect. I'll do that. Oh, good. Thanks, Paul. Then reach out to me. I'm very, very happy. I'm open. I've got space in my calendar to fit you in. My Aussie dollars, right? No, great question. This is US dollars, because we've got people from all around the world on the conversation, Paul. So yes, I don't know what's the conversion rate at the moment. I'm not 100% sure. 1.35 or something like that. So it's for you in Australia, or I'm assuming you're in Australia. That will be $1,300, about $400 more on that. So for later, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andrew. Paul, let's work something out. I'd love to serve you on this, and let's get you started. Anybody else who wants to just reach out and connect with me, Ainsley, thank you for being on the call. I'm just seeing who else has been on the call here. Where's everybody here? There you are. Tremaine, Fletcher, Mark, Paul, and a whole bunch of names that you didn't give my name. Thank you so much for being on the call. Love to serve you and look after you. And thank you so much for your time. It's been beautiful and awesome for me to spend that time with you, and for you to open up your home and your computer to me